So I read something a while ago, and I should have kept the bookmark, but I don't have it right now. But I had read that 50% of the children in our country under the age of 6 do not live with both parents because of this divorce phenomenon, this divorce culture, and people afraid of that. You are now having, and also there are government incentives which encourage people not to get married. You have children that are born, a lot of children that are born to unwed parents, or to a single mom who doesn't know who the father is, or you have the victims of divorce. And these children are victims of divorce. And nobody stands for the victims of divorce. Nobody stands for the fatherless children because there is a single mom or whatever, or because or that nobody stands for the children who deserve a family. And yet the government incentives, if you form a family, government incentives work against you. So you can lose money and things like that. And it's
they are the cause of the problem, the incentives.
They are the cause of the problem.
Yes,
absolutely.
I mean, they're the culprits because in my daughter's situation, I noticed, like I said, I became more observant with things. So I was checking, documents and things to see what is this all about, because I didn't know any legal terms. I was completely ignorant, even of the really elementary, things. I had to look everything up because I've never dealt with lawyers or courts. And I saw Title 4D on one of her paper and a number. And I thought, Title 4D, I didn't think anything of it afterwards because I didn't know what it was. But then as I became more educated on what's going on, I realized that it's the incentive that the state gets from the federal government for processing, charging, and collecting the child support. They get incentivized.
From Social Security, by the way. So it's coming out of Social Security as well.
Yes, from your Social Security retirement. And it's no wonder it's drawing up like several, billions of dollars a year. And I thought, oh, how interesting. So my daughter became a Title 4D as soon as she walked into court, before she was even her, before the trial began. So how do you justify that?
And by the way, I've got to correct something that you've said here. You talked about, you never spoke with attorneys and judges and stuff like that. I think the real terminology you meant to use was snakes and vultures.
Yes, and that's what they say, we have someone in the movement, I'm sure you're familiar, John Gentry.
Oh, I know John.
Who is going against the Supreme Court.
I know, all of these people that you talk about, I know who they are.
Right, and he says there are lawyers, judges are lawyers in black robes, so. But there are good lawyers and there are good judges, and I know a lot of them. And
there are some outstanding, and that's a shame, because the thing is that you're right. There are some outstanding people, and I don't mean to tar and feather them, but the thing is that the really good ones know. Sometimes they have to defend. Like I have a friend who is another justice of the peace, and because he's now in that club, he's got to defend his friend who's in the club with him. But he knew me very well, and he knows that, and they can't speak objectively anymore because now they've got to defend their club.
Right. Once it's fixed from the very beginning, whoever makes the decision, every judge that follows will support it because they look, for each other's back. And that goes for federal courts too. So a lot of the parents that are so eager to take it to federal court, many of these, federal cases are dismissed because they're really trying to protect the lower courts.
Exactly.
And it's all for profit because of this Title 4D funding. And that does not.
And because the family lawyers make a killing. We cannot talk about this issue if we don't talk about the whole corrupt family.
It fits the whole legal system.
The entire, what they call family law, which I will call the anti-family lawless system.
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
It makes it sound like like they're there for the family. It's not for the family. It's where you go to break up your family, because the judges have no incentive to keep you together. Their incentive is to benefit the state, and the state supports them. With Title 15.
I could go into a lot off of that too, including in Texas, our Attorney General.
General Paxton.
I cannot go too much, and I think that General Paxton is a good person. I've talked with him. I've met him.
I know you met him.
I voted for
Yeah.
him. I mean, I have a, you know, it's interesting because during this thing last year, my 7-year friend anniversary or whatever came up with Ken Paxton, picture of us together. He
Right.
went to Washington to
Right.
defend
He seems
Texas.
like a nice person. I've seen him on Fox News
He,
several times.
but you know, when it comes down to this family law issue, or this anti-family
Yeah.
lawless issue, his duty is to look out for the state, to
Right,
defend the state, to look out for the
Right.
financial interests of the
Well,
state.
he-
He does not care about the justice.
He does not.
If he does personally, that's one thing, but in his position, he cannot.
But he was actually, were you there with Jody when he was questioned about Title 4D?
I was the one who filmed it.
Right. See?
So it's my film.
And I've seen his videos, and he's actually kind of proud that thanks to Title 4D, 62% of our government employees
of the
get
people
a
in his
salary.
office, yes, yeah.
That's where their salary comes
Out of
from.
4,200 people, over 62% of them work in child
Right.
support enforcement.
Child enforcement
Yeah.
agencies. or
And
related
it's
to it.
and they do the best job of any state in the entire
but
country
they
for the
don't-
last
they
10
would
years.
not need all these government employees
Right.
if they
If
were
they-
not trying to get the funding.
Yes, and also if they change the
So-
laws to make divorce harder and to not just grant divorce like in the
Yes,
no-fault
go to
divorce.
counseling.
Yeah.
Go to counseling. I will not give you a
Yeah.
divorce. Go to counseling, and
Yeah.
I want to see results.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.